Hello everyone and welcome back to Revs and Reviews. Today I have a all-new vehicle here in front of me. This is the all-new 2026 Nissan Sentra SV. Now yes, the SV is more of your base model trim level, but this one has a few more upgrades to make it feel like that top-of-the-line SL trim. So let's hop into what's all new for 2026. So for 2026, the full Nissan Sentra here got a full redesign. We got a whole new front-end design with a facelift. Now that facelift is going to give us the LED light bar across the front, that grille that kind of looks like the grille from the SL trim level. Now we also get that light bar across the front, and we also do get an animation across the front grille when we unlock and lock the vehicle. Now another thing that is new is the full body design. So Nissan wanted to stick with their aerodynamics, that way we have new body lines. So what I mean by that is Nissan kind of gave the Nissan Sentra more aerodynamics for more fuel economy, which I do think was a great thing because this gets great gas mileage. Now, of course, along the back here, we got a full new redesign. We get this LED light bar across the back here. Now, of course, I wish our rear taillights were amber, but they are red, but it's okay because, I mean, this is a $28,000 car. Now, of course, this grayish blue color here, which is called Atlantic Gray Metallic, is a $500 upgraded color. Now, another new thing for 2026 is going to be the wheels. So we get these 16-inch alloyed wheels down here, and they don't look, honestly, bad at all. I do like the design. Honestly, I wish we had more wheel options for more of the base model trims, because this is the only wheel option you can get on the SV trim, which is a little bit unfortunate, but I do have to say it still looks great. Underneath the hood is where people are still very disappointed with Nissan. Underneath the hood, we get a 2.0-liter four-cylinder engine pushing 149 horsepower, 146 pound-feet of torque, and not only that, but it is paired with the CVT. That's why we do not get upgraded performance for this year. So yes, this does have the CVT, but that doesn't mean it's bad though, because the CVT is honestly a good thing because we get 30 in the city and 38 on the highway with 33 miles per gallon combined, which honestly is very great considering this isn't even a hybrid. And if you think about it, the Honda Civic, the base model, uses a CVT. The Toyota Camry has a CVT. The Toyota Corolla has a CVT. Now, yes, Nissan has had a bad past with their CVTs, but that is because owners do not maintain their CVT transmission. Nissan says you have to get a transmission flush and or drain and fill every 30,000 miles, in which most owners that own Nissans do not do. So that is the one thing that you have to keep in mind. You have to maintain your car to make it last longer. Now, obviously, the interior has a few new redesigns on the interior, so let's hop inside and see what the new Nissan Sentra has to offer. Along to our interior here, of course, we're going to have this nice black plastic door panel with not a big enough cup holder for a Stanley Cup, maybe two water bottles. Now, obviously, we do get this nice Sentra badge as well as an automatic window for the driver. Now, the one thing that is disappointing is going to be the fact that we do not get leather seats on the base model, but that is typical because what base model honestly has leather seats? Now, this one does have these beautiful black and gray cloth seats, which are very comfortable, I do have to say, very plush. They are also heated. Now, we also do get the convenience package, which is a $900 upgraded package. We get the upgraded 6-speaker audio sound system, that beautiful one-panel sunroof. Not only that, but we also do get ambient lighting, and along with that, a heated steering wheel. Now let's hop into the new 12.3-inch displays here in this Nissan Sentra. Alright, now moving along to the inside here is where Nissan totally plays the Kia game here. Now what I mean by the Kia game is we have the 12.3-inch displays which look similar to the Kia K4. And the Nissan Sentra does really compare with the Kia K4, which is something to keep in mind. Now obviously the Nissan Sentra, in my personal opinion, does look a lot better than the Kia K4. And I will say it myself, the SR trim with all its vibrant colors and the SL trim with the luxury features, gotta say, looks amazing. Now, another thing I want to make clear here is the vehicle is not turned on. We are low on gas in this Nissan Sentra, so I do have it on the battery mode and or accessory mode, so that is why our power steering, oil light, and check engine light is on. That is not on because the vehicle is running. It is only on because the vehicle is in accessory mode. Now, moving along here, I gotta say, this interior is absolutely gorgeous. The first thing I want to point out is this whole new steering wheel design. So this new steering wheel design is kind of giving that Arrow design from the Nissan Aria. Now, Nissan started putting these steering wheels in the Nissan Murano, which got a full redesign, and obviously now they are putting them in the Nissan Sentra and Nissan Aria. Now, I do have to say, I like the steering wheel design. Of course, this is a heated leather wrap steering wheel, and our heated steering wheel button is right down there, which is nice. Now, moving along here, let's hop into the driver cockpit here. So the driver cockpit is fully digital for 2026, unlike it was for 2025. So the one thing to keep in mind is on the higher trim levels like the SR or the SL, you will get Nissan's ProPilot Assist. Now, that is fully optional with the SV trim. You can option it out with ProPilot Assist, but this one does not have that ProPilot Assist package. This one has your standard adaptive cruise control with lane keeping assist. We do not get the full, like, hands-free, one hand on the wheel driving like you would with the ProPilot Assist, but we get the adaptive cruise control with the front ABB, rear cross traffic alert. We have blind spot monitors. We also do get our front and rear AAB, which I already mentioned. But not only that, but we do also get that pedestrian alert system for when you are driving in the city, which is an upgraded system that Nissan has included, which I do think is great. Now, of course, all of your cruise control and volume controls are going to be right over here. Now, of course, to change your display up here, all your controls are going to be over here. So let's get started here. So with our different displays here, we can go to our settings. We have our driver assistant settings, so we can kind of change this around. So we have our lane assist settings. So we also do have warning, intervention. So that means the vehicle will put itself back in its lane for you if you are getting out of your lane. Now we can have that on different settings, of course. So with those different settings, we can have that on strong, normal, or mild. I've never seen mild used as a word for safety features, which I do think is quite interesting. We also have steering wheel vibrations if you do not want the intervention on. We have blind spot assist. With our blind spot assist, you can turn on the warning and intervention. So if you're trying to get over into the lane next to you and there's a vehicle and you start drifting over there, the vehicle will automatically tell you, hey, there's a vehicle in the lane. I'm putting you back in the lane you were in. Now, emergency assist, we have the warning time as well as the collision time. We have emergency brake. We have our parking assist, our driver monitor, our timer alert, our low temperature alert, and our chassis control. Now, we do get a dual rear suspension with this Nissan Sentra, and I gotta say, the handling on this Nissan Sentra is amazing. And even with the 149 horsepower, getting up to speed here in the parking lot, I gotta say, it's very fun to drive, and you wouldn't expect that from a Nissan Sentra. Now, moving along here, if we go back here, let's go back to our settings. Of course, we have our ProPilot Assist, or as I should say, Nissan Safety Shield 360 Assist, which will give us, if we are in our lane, our forward collision, our lane assist, our blind spot monitors. We have our speed limit recognition, which is nice. And then if we scroll over, we have our music, which can be linked up with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. We also have our stop start assist, which you can turn off. We also have our driver computer control module, and then we also do have our home screen. Now, with our home screen, it will just be a blank screen like this, which is nice. And along with that, we can also customize some of these displays as well. So when we go into this area here, we can go to this little button down here, which I'm going to show you right now. So this little button down here is a little shortcut button, which you can program to be your meter view, your audio source, or your driver assistance button. So you can have it on your lane assist. You can kind of change that around to whatever you want the button to be, which is nice. Now, along with that, if we slide over here, we can go to our driver assistance settings as well. Now, if we go into our settings here, we can also change what we also see on this display. So we can go to customize display. We can go to our main menu selection. We can also have our welcome effect on or off, our speed limit, our cruise control, driver assistance, audio, stop start, tire pressure, eco pedal guide, fuel economy, drive computer, and we can also have that blank screen on, which is nice. And then if we go back here, we can go back over here and right in here. This is where we can customize what we want to see on our driver assistance screen, which I do think is quite nice. So we just got to swipe over here, and then it will go to that blank screen as well, and you can kind of mess around and play with that as you go as well, which I do think is nice. Now, my personal favorite mode is leaving it on the driver assistance screen and leaving it on the little Nissan Sentra in the middle there. Now, obviously, if we turn our turn signals on or even our headlights, it doesn't show an animation with the car up there, which is a little bit unfortunate. I would have liked to seen that because the Kia K4 does that. Now, obviously, we do get different dry modes in here. So with our different dry modes, we have a dry mode selector right down here. So with our dry modes, we do get a sport mode, which will give you the best performance with the CVT and that 2.0 liter four-cylinder. Now, of course, we get a standard mode, and then we also do get a eco mode. Now, that is just warning me that the vehicle will power off soon because I am using the battery. Now, with sport mode, the handling gets better with that dual link suspension in the back, and obviously the handling in this Nissan Sentra is pretty amazing. And in sport mode, it does drive pretty astronomically good, I have to say. Now, obviously, we don't get a new gauge cluster theme or anything with the sport mode. I would have really liked to see more customizations with our gauge cluster. But of course, moving along here to our infotainment screen here, we do get a whole new infotainment screen. So starting with that, you can control your climate control and your heated seats and everything that you need to control through here. Now, if we press our home button, we are on our home page. We have our connections, our app settings, our device settings, our Bluetooth. Then if we swipe over, we have our guest widget, which means if someone else is driving your vehicle and you don't want them to mess with your settings, you can set up a guest profile. Now, of course, with that being said, we have our volume knob down here, our hazard button, our skip button, and then we also have our day and night mode for the screen, which means we can turn the brightness up and down. We also do get our AM FM radio with our Sirius XM, the upgraded 6-speaker audio sound system. Along with that, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. Then if we go down here, we can go to our apps down here. Now, if we go to interior lighting, this one has the upgraded convenience package, which is going to give us ambient lighting, which is nice. So if I turn on the ambient lighting here, and we turn that on to full blast here, our ambient lighting will appear down here within the cup holders, and then we also do get accent lights in the door pockets as well as in this little area down here. On higher trim levels here, we do get the wireless charging pad, and even on the base model here, I just realized that we do get a wireless charging pad, which is nice. Our heated seat controls as well as our regular climate control. We don't get dual climate on the base model. We get two USB-C ports and a 12-volt port. We have our different gear selector right here. We have our parking brake as well as auto hold and auto stop start on and off. Ambient lighting will appear on this little display over here, and it will appear around the center console here. Obviously, since we are just in the accessory mode, it's not going to show because that will use up more of the battery. Now, we do get different themes. So we have Delight, we have Discovery, Passion, Harmony, and Additional, which will be a color slider, which is also nice. And then, of course, if we go back here, we go to not the ambient lighting, we go to our accent lighting. That will turn on the light by the wireless charger down here. So that way we do get a light accent by our wireless charger, which will illuminate during the nighttime. And along with that, we also get little shortcuts here. We get our device settings. And then if we also go back here, we go into all settings here. And if we go into our display settings here, you can kind of play around with the day and night and the brightness. Now, along with that, if we go back here, we can have our users, our display, our vehicle settings, our privacy, accessibility, all of that. And the vehicle is turning off right now because I was in the accessory mode for a little bit too long here. But we do get a little hint of the ambient lighting here. It's kind of hard to see during the day, but you can kind of see it down here. So as you can see, we do get the nice ambient lighting, which I do like. Now, of course, turning our vehicle back on here into accessory mode, I have to say, I really do like the upgraded interior here. Now, honestly, would I buy the Nissan Sentra? Unfortunately, since it doesn't come in all-wheel drive, that kind of is a deal breaker for me. But considering it has all these different safety features and design accents and design elements, I have to say, it's a great-looking vehicle, and it is pretty fun to drive, even though it does only have 149 horsepower. Now, obviously, if I was able to take this out on the road, we would get a driving POV, but I can't take this one out on the road, unfortunately. But driving it around here in the parking lot, I do have to say, it is a very smooth car. Now, of course, here on the interior, we also did get some new installation upgrades. What I mean by that is Nissan put some more installation on the interior. That way we don't hear the outside noise or wind noise that much. And with the upgraded body lines and body panels, we do get the aerodynamic feel. That way we don't get so much wind noise, which is also a great feature to have. Now, along with that, I gotta say, the interior is pretty simple, it's pretty complex, and I gotta say, the new interior is absolutely amazing. Now, with the 43 inches of legroom up here and the plenty of headroom up here, I have to say, even without the power adjustable seats, I get plenty of headroom up here. I get plenty of leg room. I'm 6 feet tall, and honestly, I moved the steering wheel down just a little bit, that way I'm comfortable. And I gotta say, there's plenty of room up here. The way Nissan kind of complexed everything together to give you that more space up here with the 43 inches leg room, everything up here feels pretty good. It's pretty complex. It's not overly tight. I have plenty of leg room, enough to rest my leg on the center console down here. I have enough room to drive with the pedals. My knees aren't in my face, and overall, it's great. Now, the back seats have 35 inches of leg room, so let's check out the back seats and see if a 6 foot tall person can fit comfortably back there. Now, moving along to our back seats here, we do get that same type of door panel back here. Now, back here, we get the carpeted floor mats, the same type of seat setup as up front with the cloth seats with the gray and black design. Very comfortable, I have to say. We do have lower latch anchors as well as top tethers, which is nice. So you can fit 2 car seats back here. You might even be able to fit a little child in the middle here with the 2 car seats. So keep that in mind if you are a parent. Now, obviously, down here in the back seats here, we don't get pockets on the back of the seats. Now, of course, back here we get one USB-C port, and obviously no rear AC vents. On higher trims, we will get ambient lighting back here, of course, as well as cup holders in the middle. But let's go ahead and sit down. This is my driving position as a 6 foot tall person here in the Nissan Sentra. So let's see if I can fit behind me if I was driving and if I was in the back seat. All right, so now we're here in the back seat of the Nissan Sentra, and this is my exact driving position. Now, back here, I do want to point out that even in the Kia K4, I didn't have enough headroom. I checked it out at the Chicago Auto Show, but back here, I have plenty of headroom back here. Now, legroom, obviously, since I'm a 6 foot tall person, my seat has to be back a little bit further. Honestly, if I was driving, I could have moved it up a little bit more, but honestly, if I was sitting back here, even for a long road trip, my knee is touching the back of the seat, but the seat is very plush and comfortable. Now, obviously, this knee will just kind of hang out. And I mean, I got plenty of legroom back here to be able to sit back here for a few hours if I were on a road trip. Now, same as up front, I have plenty of legroom up there, and even with the 35 inches of legroom back here, I mean, it's a very nice car. I do have to say, I'm going to give Nissan that because I think Nissan has a comeback coming soon because this Nissan Sentra is really impressive. Now, of course, it makes it feel a little bit bigger with that one panel sunroof. And overall, I mean, a lot of legroom back here. Obviously, if the seats reclined, we would have a little bit more comfortable of a back position, but the seats don't recline, unfortunately, but it is still a nice back seat here, which is pretty useful and useful on road trips as well. But let's hop into the cargo area and see how much junk we can fit in the trunk. I do have to say is getting in and out of the back seats here, you do have to maneuver yourself if you are a 6 foot tall person, so it's a little bit cramped getting in and out. But of course, moving along to our rear end design here, a full new redesign here on the back with this beautiful light bar and our full red LED lights across the back. I wish the turn signals were amber, as we had mentioned. Now, of course, moving along to our cargo area here, we do get plenty of cargo room back here, I have to say. Now, we do get 14.3 inches of cut that out. Now, moving along to our cargo area here, we do get 14.3 cubic feet of space back here. We can fold down those seats back there, but they do not fold down flat. So there's really no information on how much total cargo space, considering those seats don't fold flat, so it doesn't really count. But to fold down those seats, we have our little pull tabs on each side right here. And then to close that tailgate, all you do is pop it down just like that. Now let's go over my honest opinions on this Nissan Sentra. Overall, for just under $28,000, I have to say this Nissan Sentra is very impressive. And what I mean by impressive is this whole new modern design, this whole new look, that one panel sunroof, the plenty of legroom up front, the plenty of trunk space, and then along with that, not to mention all the safety features for a base model. Now, yes, of course, since this is the SV trim, if you didn't get it with any of the packages like this one has, that's why this one is $28,000, because it has a few more packages than the standard SV trim. But overall, I have to say, tons of safety features, tons of space, and a great looking car. Obviously, we still get that CVT, but if you take care of it, it will last you a long time. Let me know what you think down in the comments down below. Now, before I end the review, a huge thank you to Russ, Darrow, Nissan here in West Bend, Wisconsin for letting me come out and review this beautiful 2026 Nissan Sentra SV. I'll see you guys in the next review. Have a great day, everyone.